France's central bank has pulled its remaining gold deposits out of the US with a capital gain of $15 billion. Over the past year and a half, 129 tonnes of gold has been moved from New York back to France, while other gold stocks were sold off at record prices. The value of gold has more than quadrupled over the last decade. I'm joined now by international economist Vicky Pryce. Great to have you on the programme again. Vicky, why does gold still matter so much to central banks in 2026?
I think one of the reasons for wanting to have more gold is to diversify away from the US dollar. One reason for that, but also to have basically a more mixed type of reserves that they can go to if they need to, and not be tied to one particular currency, because of course there are so many crises affecting different currencies in different ways, and more recently the concern really that perhaps the US was exiting up to a point from the world trade payment system, and other currencies perhaps would become more dominant. But I think it's a double-edged sword in some sort of ways, if we can use that expression, because quite a lot of the increase in the price of gold that we have seen recently is precisely because the central banks have decided to have more of that gold. And of course what they're also trying to do is benefiting from the rising prices by selling the old gold they hold and then transferring that into the new type of gold with a lot more special markings and also environmentally sourced, which is what is now required under the new Basel III requirements, banking requirements for central banks. So there's a bit of that going on. So
it sounds quite a lot like creative accounting, Vicky. I mean, look, because France, they haven't changed how much gold they hold. They've just moved it, haven't they, from New York to Paris. So, I mean, what do you think it says about confidence in geopolitics?
Well, there is a bit of an issue, and of course, everyone now is looking at everyone else, like Germany, which also has a reasonable amount of gold in the US. Would they do the same? Possibly, but I think they're taking advantage of the price that they're buying the new type of gold probably, more cheaply, and they're able to transfer that money into, better use. And suddenly the central bank, the Bank of France, seems to be in a much better financial position than was the case just a few days ago. So there are all these little tricks, but there is no doubt that everyone is rethinking how you're positioning yourself for the future and whether, the world order has changed. And it has. There is no doubt about that. But it probably is more a question of just taking advantage of high price and selling that gold rather than anything else. And we have had various periods of that, like that before. The UK sold loads of gold under Gordon Brown some time ago, and we've been regretting it ever since.
Certainly we have been. Look, from China to Poland, central banks are reshaping their gold strategies. Could this change how nations manage risk, how they protect their economic sovereignty?
Yes, up to a point. Of course, you have to be certain that gold is going to continue to have a sort of high value, because, of course, it could collapse for whatever reason, because there isn't anything attached to it. There's no real sort of forced convertibility rate or anything like that, as there used to be. So you've got a real problem. It is an asset you have, which is not necessarily going to be constantly going up in price, so you're not guaranteed that you're going to have that leverage, if you like, for the future. But there is no doubt that, if you look at a number of countries, I mean, you mentioned a few already, and indeed, some of these European countries are now hoarding more gold than was the case before. They've been buying gold. One of the reasons why, as I said earlier, the price has been going up. But, I mean, it includes sort of India, Turkey. In a number of cases, why they're doing it is also because there are concerns about their own currencies, and they may need to use that gold to intervene in the foreign exchange markets. I mean, Turkish exchange rate has been, of course, itself not very stable, but, loads of others as well. So it is a bit of a guarantee, if you like, to the need to have something that you can use to intervene for your currency and keep it strong, rather than another currency like the US dollar, for example.
Vicky Pryce, great to have your insight. Thank you very much.